Okay, we'll go into motions for debate. So we are on motion 4. So this conference instructs the National Executive to establish a self-funding opt-in beer group for members to study and discuss all aspects of beer viewed from the consumer perspective. The group should be of interest to consumers and the wider beer and pub trade. It's proposed by Real Ale, Cider and Perry Campaigns Committee, and Tim Webb will speak as the proposer.
There are 2 reasons for CAMRA to have a beer group. People think CAMRA is an organisation that discusses beer. It doesn't, by and large. It discusses its prejudices about beer. And what we need to do if we're going to go forward and be an influential organisation, which is essential to our future, is we need to be able to show that we know our stuff. So these 2 motions are primarily about that. This one is about making sure that as many members who wish to become properly worked up in knowing and understanding beer. It can be from any point of view. It can be about learning about beer itself, how it is made, how the different types vary, why they taste differently, what the history is of different styles, and all that sort of thing. It can go through to who owns the brewing business and how do they control it. It can be any aspect of this, but we've got to beef up the stuff we know, because in order to be influential in the future, we have to sound like we know what we're talking about. From practicalities, this is not something members are going to have to pay to join. I know that's been spread around, but it's not true. What you get for free is you opt into a beer group, and from that you get, for free, much better signposted information about, to a certain extent, self-learning and being able to teach yourself about a lot more about beer. That's what you get for free. Yes, there will be charges for things, I imagine. I imagine there are going to be regional meetings, even national meetings, that it might be necessary to pay to attend, because we're going to have to pay speakers to go there and do interesting stuff. But we're not going for a sponsorship model. We're not going for a membership fee model. We're just going for... I've had to rewrite this short because it was a lot longer than it's allowed to be. It's opt-in because we only wish to educate people who wish to be educated. If you don't want to know more about beer, you don't have to. If you're not really interested in beer, for example, you're a pubs and clubs person, or you're a cider and perry person, or it may simply be that I'm only interested in cask, I'm really not interested in the rest, and then you don't have to join. To join in is to wish to be educated. And it's self-funding, because if it wasn't self-funding, it would not take off, it would not be allowed. So, I'm asking you from all sorts of common sense reasons to allow us to kick this off. I know that my committee could have just gone ahead and done this. We could have presented this as a fait accompli. There you are, get on with it, we've done it. That's not the point. We want support from you. We want support from the membership, as shown through this conference, in order to get on and do it as something we've all consented to doing, because we think it's a good idea. That's all I'm going to say. I'm well within time. Excellent. Thank you.
And do we have someone to second the motion? There we go, Rick. I was looking for you in your seat, and I didn't notice you'd already started coming down.
Oh, yeah. Morning conference, Rick Pickup, Blackpool Fowden, Wire, Chair of the Brew Liaison Advisory Group, and part of Real Ale, Cider and Perry, and seconding this motion. And you'll be pleased to know I'm the ideal Sunday morning speaker. I'm a man of few words. One of the reasons this motion appears on the paper today is that we need to have the opportunity to provide information and spread more and better beer knowledge. We need to be shown to be the intelligent voice of the consumer, not just a group of people who like a nice pint. Our new website has the potential to be a really good go-to source of quality information, provided we keep the appropriate editorial controls on it and we provide the right information to it. There should be a key difference between the information that CAMRA curates and the stuff found more generally on the internet, and that's because it's provided by knowledgeable people. There are many useful sources on the internet for the beer enthusiast today, and we're not against pointing people in their direction, but we need to be honest with the weaknesses some of them have. Take, for instance, Untapped. It's been mentioned already. It's immensely popular. Its data is riddled with errors. I can tell you hundreds of cases of... I can tell you a brewer in Newcastle who, just by drinking his own brewers, has drunk 500 American beers. You know, there's so much rubbish in there. People are heavily invested in it, however, and they won't just jump ship to a similar product. So we have to do something better, and that is provide better quality information. We have to tell people our beer data is better than theirs. We should be the accurate source for reliable information. And we need to be aware that the CAMRA brand has to be known for that. People need to come to us for that quality information. One of the jobs I've done for the last couple of years is going to Cider, which is CIBA's version of us here today. When we talk to the brewers, one of the constant themes we get back is they've got great admiration for CAMRA. They love what we stand for. For that reason, many of them are members. However, their opinion of members' level of knowledge about beer is generally quite low. We have to improve that, and this is what this beer group's all about. It's becoming increasingly obvious that the future of beer lies in three diverse directions: a dominant corporate agenda, a shrinking market for traditional beers, and a battling independent market that does different things, interestingly complex beers. We need to continue to develop more mature relationships with partners in the industry. And finally, as I ask you to support this motion, just think about what you're saying if we reject it. We're beer enthusiasts that don't want to talk about beer. Or, as a red top might print the headline, "Bonkers beer boffs ban beer talk." Please support this motion.
Yes?
Morning conference, 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗄𝗏, Redditch and Bromsgrove branch, also regional director for West Central. When I was on the NE many years ago, I formulated a policy to set up an education group within CAMRA. That's now evolved into the Brilliant Learning Discovery Initiative, headed up very capably by Alex, and I'm going to go there and speak to him, and if you haven't already been, I'll do that. The question is this: will the group be liaising closely with Alex and the Learning and Discover Initiative? Because there's so much synergy there, it would seem stupid not to.
Yeah, I've got the answer to that, Brett. So Gillian Huff, Derby branch, and the director responsible for the Real Ale, Cider and Perry Campaigns Committee. Alex and the whole of the Learn and Discover sits with my committee, so we work very closely together. Absolutely, just what you say, we would be hand in hand.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to speak against the motion?
Morning conference, Ben Wilkinson, South Hertfordshire branch. Yesterday we heard from the National Executive about our membership offer and the need to strengthen it, particularly now that subscriptions are to go up. My concern about this motion is that in some ways it appears to do the opposite, because it weakens our overall membership offer by implying that the opportunity to discuss beer as a topic is not an integral part of CAMRA membership, but an annex to it, a sort of a bolt-on extra bonus beer club. At the moment, if somebody approached me, and probably you, and said that they want to discuss beer from a consumer perspective, our advice to them would be simply to join CAMRA. That's exactly the sort of thing our organisation was created for, I thought. If in future the advice is that such a person has to not just join CAMRA, but after that then opt in to join another organisation within the organisation in order to be part of the beer stuff, is that so much of a compelling offer anymore? What is it that we think people are actually joining CAMRA for, if it's not to learn about and talk about beer? Yes, I appreciate that's not all that we do, but since day one it's been a fundamental and very important aspect of who we are, a key part of our identity as an organisation. My worry is to strip that out into a separate group with a separate identity, as this motion appears to suggest, risks taking away from our general membership offer and making our overall appeal to new potential members less compelling. All the stuff that Tim and Rick talked about sound great. Why do we need a new organisation to do it? Why don't we just get on and do it as CAMRA? So, on that basis, I won't be supporting the motion. Thank you.
Would anybody like to speak for the motion? Nope, I'm not seeing any hands. Then we'll move to a vote. All those in favour of motion 4, please raise your hand. All those against? Motion is carried.